Hello, good evening. Welcome to the August 11th, 2021 Merrimack Ag Commission meeting. Time is 7:10. We're going to start off with comments from the press or public. Seeing none, we'll move on to new business. The only thing I really have is it's fair season. Next couple weeks we'll have the Cornish Fair coming up. I believe it's 2 weekends from now. The Hopkinton State Fair will be first week, it'll be Labor Day weekend. The following weekend will be the Hillsborough County. So come support us at the fair. Other than that, I don't have anything else to talk about. What about you, Bess? Any new business?
Well, I had a couple of things here, I thought, but obviously I'm not well organized. I did have the, I thought I had the fair schedule here.
Yeah, I left that at the house, unfortunately.
Let me just quick look through here in my madness of paperwork. Ah. That's not it. Bear with me, because I wrote it down. I thought, Ronnie, I did.
We can move on.
Oh, I was, before we get to horse things, it was the notice on the news, I think on Channel 7 or 4, about the spotted lanternfly and how it's becoming quite, it's moving on in and becoming quite a
Nuisance, yeah.
quite a nuisance.
Well, if you want, you can read that.
No,
Go,
no, no,
Tom.
no. I think I'm just going to say a little bit, not too much, but I hope everyone's having a good horse and riding and driving and lots of fun at shows with their horses.
Moving on to horse sense.
And following some safety measures, and one of them could be safety and trailering, because all these people that are riding and going to shows are trailering their horses, and trailering should be done with 2 people if at all possible. Be sure the ground area behind and around the trailer or trailer affords safe footing before loading or unloading. Be sure the trailer is level and steady and doesn't move as the horse tries to enter. Place chucks behind the wheels to keep the trailer steady. Remove the bridle, saddle, and other equipment before loading. Use your halter and a good sturdy lead shank, at least 5 feet, made of cotton rope. Don't use nylon shanks. They can be dangerous if your horse pulls back. Always wrap your horse's legs to be sure the bandages extend over the cornet bands onto the hoof and that they cover the heel area. If you have trouble loading or unloading, get experienced help. Secure the butt chain or bar as soon as the horse is in the trailer, and always before tying the horse, as soon as the horse is in the trailer, and always before tying the horse, use care when reaching for the chain. Opinions vary on hauling a horse tied or loose. If you tie, allow a sufficient length of rope so the horse can move his head for balance and comfort, but keep in tight enough that he cannot get in trouble or get to the horse next to him. Always tie with a quick release knot or use panic snaps on the ties. When hauling only 1 horse in a 2-horse trailer, load the horse on the driver's side. Try to distribute the weight of the load evenly. When hauling 2 horses in a 2-horse trailer, load the heavier horse on the driver's side. Use rubber mats for secure footing. By using 3 inches of bedding, shaving, straw, or sand, you can cushion bumps and reduce concussion on your horse's legs. Always speak to a horse that is in a truck or trailer before attempting to handle it. Check your trailer regularly for the following: rotting or weakened floorboards, rusted and weakened floor hinges, cracked hitch wells. When having the trailer serviced, ask the mechanic to check the spring shackles and wheel bearings. The trailer should be of sufficient weight to give the horse ample neck and headroom. Remove or cover any protruding objects. When driving, always observe the following: double check all connections, lights, brakes, hitch, and safety chains. Be sure all doors are secured. Drive carefully, make turns slowly, start and stop slowly and steadily. Look far ahead to avoid emergencies. Drive defensively. Never throw lighted cigarettes or matches from a car or truck window. They could either start a fire in the area or the wind could suck them into your trailer. Check the horse and trailer hitch at every stop before continuing. Horses are like people. Some get sick from motion. Adjust the feeding schedule to avoid trailering. Immediately after feeding, feed smaller amounts or more often if necessary. Watch your feet and fingers when dropping the tailgate. Never undo the butt chain or bar before you untie your horse at his head. The horse may try backing out as soon as the trailer is down. So there's a few trailer tips for those who are traveling and having fun and showing with their horse.
Thank you, Bess. I gotta do some work to our trailer, speaking of that. Redo some lights and all that fun
Well,
stuff.
the wiring, you know, and you have to
Oh,
watch
yeah.
for the rodents.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Move on to item,
I don't know if I can find my pen, Ron.
oh, you can borrow mine, here you go.
No, I just had it here.
Here, take that one.
Thanks.
Move on to item B, our treasurer's report.
Well, it is unavailable.
Right, that's right, wasn't in the mailbox this week. We'll move on then to item C. We're gonna review our draft minutes from July 14th, 2021. Which I gave you.
Right here.
There you go. I thought everything looked good, Bess.
And I think the only thing, um, I
A couple
think,
typos here or there, but other than that,
I think
thought
it was
fine.
the,
Yep,
well-
yes.
oh no, I see that the knots seem to be corrected in this one.
Yep. No, yeah, they corrected here. I think you did fix this.
I think that has been corrected, Bob.
Item E, you're on item E?
Yep.
Item E,
Mine wasn't corrected.
well, I'm looking at all my knots
after-
that are
yeah,
not,
line
knotted or
below.
unknotted.
See where the number 7 is, the line below that?
Number 7, all right, 7?
This knot,
Oh, no, yes?
this knot, so W is replaced. with-
No one used the, what, number 7?
I see it, yep.
Where is it? Ron?
The 7 is fine, it's the line below it, this knot. it says-
Oh, this allows you to release.
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
And then a pole line knot, K-N-O.
Oh, yeah, yeah, I knew there was some knots in the system here.
And the loop will not tighten up and knot will not slip, K-N-O.
Yeah, so that's why I ran kind of, I got knotted in my typing.
The last line, always use a halter, USE. That's what it
Always,
says.
oh, okay,
So it's very minor correction.
all right. And let me see,
That's all I.
That's all I saw.
yeah, this knot allows you to release if horse gets in trouble. The bowline knot, yeah, with the.
Thank you, Bob.
Yes, well, I had it on the other sheet, I think.
All right.
Anyway, so the knots need to be fixed and always used, so.
Other than that, it
other
looked
than
good to me,
that
Bess.
is-
Would you like to make a motion to accept?
With the corrections, I'll make a motion to accept the July 14th, 2021 minutes.
All right, I'll
As read.
second that. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 2-0. Thank you. All right, I guess we're moving right along here. On to comments from the press. Seeing none. Comments from the public. Comments from the commission.
Well, I would like to make some comments, and
You have the floor.
we did not
You
have
have
an
the floor.
opportunity last time, and unfortunately, our former chair, Bob McCabe, had to not be able to continue as our chair, but I think Ron and probably Paul, if he was here, would agree with me that we all appreciate all that he did for the commission, because of all the people that have been on the commission over the years since its conception, Bob has done 100% of all the work for the community garden for the most part. The week after week at the at the farmer's market, setting up, being there to take down, never wavered, always put 100% of effort into that. And so we have a great deal of thanks to him for that, and you should be very proud, because, it's a volunteer position, and no one has spent as much time and effort and work to make this commission as successful as Bob has. So we we as a commission thank you, because not everybody is self-employed and can take that time to devote to those projects. And so, Bob, we thank you very much for all you've done for the commissions since, and I've been here since the beginning. And in light of that, being horsey inclined as I am, I have brought you a ribbon. And it's a champion ribbon that I won at a Hunter Pace many, many years ago, and it's not faded too badly, like most of mine have. And so I hope you will display this proudly on your refrigerator and know that you're a champion in our eyes, and appreciate all you've done for the commission.
Yes, thank you, Bob. I appreciate all the help you've shown me in my, going on 4 years now, 5 years, something like that.
I don't know, are you that old?
I don't know. It's been a long ride. No.
Yes, well, you know, I mean, it was, the commission was, you know, Eber Courier's vision, and it's had its ups and downs, and it's, I think in the last year since, you know, Bob became chair, you know, I mean, we have the community gardens. I think a lot of people have benefited from that. The farmer's market, I mean, thanks to Charlie Morgan for his support and allowing us to use his parking lot, which was far more visible than the Tractor Supply lot, which was generous of them as well. And the trailer he let us use for all of our things that we needed to store, so we didn't have to put them in our trunk and take them to the town barns at night. And so, I mean, it was a big, big effort, and it was successful as long as we were able to manage. And of course, COVID has changed a lot of things in a lot of people's lives. And so, in light of that, we do appreciate all that you've done, and because you carried the bulk of the workload.
And also a great occasion to work with great people.
So, yeah, well, we tried to be as supportive as we can for, you know, but it really all fell on you, the paperwork, I mean, all the work at the community garden, and the extra effort you put in buying the tree and putting the tree in memory of Pete and Nancy, and so.
You should go see that tree, the apples are very abundant.
Are they? I haven't been over, I should drop by,
It's unbelievable how many apples.
yeah,
There's
so.
all the-
Yeah.
Well, it was nice, you know, I think the commission has tried to do a lot of nice things, and especially 4-H, and to further young people in the town of Merrimack that are furthering their education in sustainable agriculture, and it's so diversified now. It's not just cows.
It's a lot of different
You know, I
things.
mean, when I was growing up, it was mostly all dairy farms, and of course, there were a few truck farmers, but now look at all that's out there, you know, I mean, it's a
unbelievable.
whole new world in agriculture. So, and I think it's thriving, so we have a lot to be proud of, for the little part that we've played in this little, you know, so.
I'd like to say a couple things. Thank you very much, Bob. I got some big shoes to fill, and I appreciate you bearing with me and showing me what you know and helping me out with all the new chairman business I have to look forward to. Thank you very much from the bottom of my hearts, and we appreciate you. Thank you. I had something else I wanted to add for the comments from the commission. I had spoken to the Franklin County Savings Bank. They were looking to start some sort of farmer's market. They had asked me if we were doing it this year, and I said unfortunately no, due to lack of interest and everything else going on. Fellow's name was Andrew, very nice man. He was looking for help in some way. I don't know if we could maybe help him with, once he gets all his ducks in a row and he can get what he has to do over in his parking lot, for the bank, I should say. I don't know if we could help him with some vendor information, give him a hand with that, try to lead him in the right direction. He's looking more for next year. It's kind of late to start one now, but just food for thought. I said I would run it by the board here. I'll have to meet with Paul eventually and talk to him about that when everything's done with that. So, other than that, I don't know if you had anything you wanted to add best to that.
Well, I think it's nice if they want to do that. I don't, you know, Bob was more involved with, you know, all the vendor listing, and I don't know why it would be a problem sharing that information. It's, You give them a list of contacts.
It's kind of late this year. 'Cause
Yeah.
everybody has
Right.
the markets,
And not only that, I mean, he could always, you could suggest to him that the Milford Farmers Market is very active farmers markets right after Blue Seal there on the left.
Right.
And they're there, I think, until 1 o'clock, I think, from probably 8 to 1, I think I saw the sign. So he could always stop over and speak with the vendors personally to see if they'd be interested in.
I
you
told him
know.
I'd call him tomorrow after the meeting tonight, and I had expressed to him, you know, maybe try the Bedford Farmers Market, Nashua.
I think he physically needs to go
Go
and
and
touch
talk to some
base and
people
talk
and-
with them because, I mean, Bob spent lots of time
Oh,
in
yeah, a lot of hours.
mailings and things and sending out applications and in hopes that someone might be of interest. And, you know, when I was out at, what is it, the Maple Barn out in Temple.
Oh, Ben's.
Ben's.
Yep,
And
Ben's
the
Sugar
gal
Shack.
that was there said she would be kind of interested. So, I mean, you know, he needs to do some groundwork, I think.
Yes, I
yeah.
expressed that.
Look at the site, make sure there's enough room.
Right,
Yeah.
and that's another issue, he's trying to find space, so. I had even mentioned to him, maybe instead of doing a farmer's market, do a festival of some kind, where you do it
Well, then there's the
quarterly
COVID
or-
regulations, and, you know, COVID is still
Right.
with us.
And that's what we
he's
also-
just gonna have to set up, you
Correct.
know,
We had talked about that as well, so he's looking for an avenue, and he came to us, cause we're the commission in the town that he worked, where the bank is, so. I said I'd help out as much as we could, so we'll leave it at that for now, and
well, offer him the suggestions
Yeah.
that,
I'll give him a call tomorrow, and I'll offer him
and he
suggestions.
probably, I don't know, when it was set up because of COVID, was it through the Department of Agriculture and the university, the rules and regulations?
UNH Extension had a set of rules.
So they would have to get in touch with them,
And
so that's another.
I had told
you know.
him it was, we had to spend some money last year, well, actually, the town did, for all the rope and the hand sanitizer and all the social distancing, and there was rules the vendors had to follow. Oh, I know, but
Yeah.
if you have another spike come through.
Yeah,
and-
I'll just have to make a list of what he's gonna have to look into
Right.
and present and so this.
And I had kinda, just touched some of these topics when I had spoke to him, so, other than that, he seems very,
Well,
excited
as
about
I
this,
said,
so.
you know, I think, you know, he needs to go to the markets, or like even the one in
Correct,
Milford.
yep.
I'm not sure, he could find out who runs that, and, because they're gonna give him the guidelines, you know, how they have to run it. So that might
Right.
be the easier thing to do than.
I had even expressed to him too, because he was saying we could do any night of the week. I said, well, you can, but if you do a market, like how we experienced, there is certain nights other markets go on, and now you're competing, and certain vendors already go to these other markets, so it'd be tough to get certain people in
Yeah.
there. You have to find a niche, you gotta find a night that's, works for everybody.
I think it was a disadvantage having somewhat, like on a Saturday, more people are out and about on a Saturday, they're not working.
Right.
Like the Milford Market, I think, is very successful, because it's a very busy road, and it's a Saturday, and everybody's out shopping, they're going to Blue Seal, they're going to Agway, they're going to Tractor Supply, they're going grocery shopping and going by. Whereas during the week, you know, I mean, it's different in the respect. I
Right.
don't think you get the traffic that you would on a weekend. But anyway, another thing
Moving on,
is
yep.
all of, you know, we have all of our market signs, farmers market
Yes,
signs.
yep.
And I didn't know if maybe we could donate them to somebody, maybe the Merrimack Garden Club, because they put out signs for their you know, plant sales
You're
in the
talking the
spring.
stabilizing the stands.
Yeah, the ones, but
Yep.
the thing is, even the signs themselves, someone could put a laminate over the top of it and don't you think?
It's an acrylic paint, I think, embossed in that plastic. I
But,
don't know.
but you could put you know, if you had some sticky, you know, like you have,
Cover it with another layer.
yeah, and something else and write on it. I mean, I think the 4-H, I don't know if they could use things like that.
Good idea out there.
Yeah, you could sit here as a guest.
Please welcome our guest, Bob McCabe. Could you state your address, please, for the...
But anyway, I know I have a few, and I think it would be nice if we could, you know, we're not gonna have a farmer's.
And there was a way to cover them, you know, to redo them.
Turn your mic on, Bob. Thank you.
I mean, somebody has to figure out the idea how to recover them so they could repurpose them.
Well, I was thinking there must be like there's sticky tape for everything, so there must be sticky things you can cover over and then rewrite on them and maybe rip it off and reuse them again.
Well, let's see how this market evolves. You
Who
know.
knows, we could have another market down the road. I think it's,
I mean, you know, we put a lot of money into them, and
I agree.
the few we have left from the original box, you might have a market next year. You never know.
We never
You
know.
You don't give it away until you're
Okay,
sure.
all right, so,
You know, but it's an idea that can be pushed forward.
All right.
You know.
so we'll table that.
Thursday, there's a Thursday market in Manchester. There's 2 Saturday markets. One's in Milford, one's in New Boston. New Boston has a very active market.
When's that Francistown market? Same, is that a weekend, or is that a?
That's a Wednesday, Ron. It
that's
was a Wednesday last year
So that was our
anyway.
competitor then, for the most part, for our
There's a
market.
Peterborough market on Wednesday. Maybe Francistown's a different day. The biggest market around, believe it or not, is Nashua. They must have 40 or 50 vendors.
I know Bedford's pretty big too. Bedford's a
Yeah,
big market.
yeah, that's a business, yeah, for sure. That's Tuesday.
And the Salem, I know Don used to go to the Salem. Salem was a big market.
I don't know what the situation
For the
is.
winter, they was an indoor and you had, it was like
Yeah.
a big deal.
Because that family passed away, so I don't know who's in charge of Salem anymore. There is a registry of markets, though, from the Department of Agriculture in New Hampshire. And you could process those names and numbers that way very
Mhm.
easily, right from the internet or right from the computer. There's numerous vendors. What we used to do, we used to reach out 50-mile radius and search for farmers, New Hampshire-made product, that type of thing. And that's how we generated over 300
Right.
plus
Mailing list.
vendors that were within an hour of us, you know.
Well, they would have plenty of time. It's getting rather late in the season now.
And that's
So
what
it'd
me and
be
Andrew
something that
had talked
they could
about.
they could work on.
If you go there, Ronnie, to the bank site, you need 20 by 40 feet for every vendor.
He was saying, he goes, they had some land next to them that he thinks that the person would be able to work out with. And I had told him, I said, I
Where
don't
is the
mind
Franklin
helping.
Bank?
It's right across from St. Joe's on Dobson Way there, right across from the urgent care.
Oh, right, oh.
The new building, the new
oh,
building
that
they
doesn't
built.
look like it would be, I don't know.
But they have land next door, and he thinks that they can get, 10 to 15 vendors in there. Parking would be different. He said he could stay even later because he'd be there till 7 some nights. So he could do a 7 to
Wow.
get a bigger window in there.
The width of most parking spaces are now 9 feet, so you double
Right.
parking spaces for every vendor.
And I even expressed, worst case, if we do have a market next year,
Mm.
if he wanted to be a vendor or some way help us, we
Mm.
could make that work too. But for the near future, as far, looking at our numbers from this year going forward, I said, you'd have to get all your stuff set up for us to, and I had expressed, I wasn't looking into being there for setup, and I would help with vendor people and help them
Yeah.
do that. But as
Right.
far as me for the setup and all that, it's a big commitment. So, but I told him I offered our help any way we could, as far as helping with vendors and just somebody to take a soundboard. Hey, what did you guys do for this? And just to help them out,
I think Bess's idea of going to visit a couple markets is
I
a great
agree.
beginning.
Yeah,
I agree.
Because they're gonna, especially with COVID, they're gonna be up to date on what has to happen. And COVID's not going away anytime too soon. As a matter of fact, it's creating, everyone's gonna, even vaccinated, you need to be cautious.
Yep.
So,
Time will
so
tell.
they're the ones that gonna, tell them, just,
Right. And that's what I told him. There's a lot, it's not like you could just do a pop-up market like the old days. There's a lot more restrictions and things you have to follow. So I'll call him tomorrow. I'll express what we've
And
talked
you know,
about
by
tonight.
next year, Charlie's building will be up. That site could be available again.
Right.
By next year.
Right. Food for thought, something to think about. We'll table this for now and
I
we'll
mean, it's
move
kind of a
on.
good thing we weren't there this year to see all the steel in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Oh, are they building?
Yeah,
Is he
they're
building-
excavating right now. There's concrete in the ground right now.
Is he building over in the dirt area where
Where we
we
were.
were last year?
Right. Yeah, it's a pretty active site right now,
Right.
so. You know,
That's
go
all I
do
had for
your
tonight.
due diligence, Ronnie, you know, over
Yeah.
there, and see what they have. I'll give you my walking wheel if you wanna measure it.
We could do that. We'll talk later.
All right.
Well, if there's no other really business to
Yeah.
discuss,
Thank you very much,
I'll
Bob,
make a
for your
motion
time.
to adjourn.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes 2-0. Thank you all. We'll see you next time.